Thank you so much for your time, Samuel Ramani. Well, are you surprised the talks have failed? Let me begin by asking you that question.
Well, I'm not that surprised that the talks have failed. If you look back at the February 1st talks in Geneva, which were the first Geneva format talks, which helped create the government of national unity, there were already widespread criticisms saying that this is just an intra elite meeting that doesn't represent Libyan public opinion. And given the fact that the main political figures and prime movers in the current talks are members of the old Government of National Accord, Tripoli based in Tripoli, and the Libyan National Army and HOR respectively, old cleavages have reinforced themselves. So I'm not surprised that this took on a negative tone.
So, from your perspective, what is the likelihood that elections will be held in December?
So I think that there's a tremendous amount of international pressure on all Libyan factions as well as external players to ensure that the elections are held on schedule. Jan Kubis, who's the UN Special Envoy for Libya, basically said that these negotiations, we won't leave the room until a deal is signed. Obviously, that didn't happen. I see that kind of resolve continuing, even though there's widespread skepticism in Libya about the UN process. Moreover, every single external player has admitted that they would like to have the elections proceed according to plan, though there are some doubts about Russia and Turkey's long term intentions.
All right, Samuel Romani, I guess the question that really needs to be asked is why has it been so difficult to solve the Libya situation?
Well, the Libyan maelstrom is really a product of many different factors. First of all, it was a product of a whole variety of external powers competing for influence, and now that competition is extending towards the reconstruction process. So even former military allies like the UAE, Egypt, Russia, and France will now be finding themselves no longer united around their support for Haftar, but now competing for reconstruction contracts against Turkey. Secondly, there is a great deal of deep cleavages within the Libyan political system, and the involvement of polarizing candidates in the election process, like potentially Khalifa Haftar, as well as Fadi Bashaga and Khaled al Mishri on the Western Libyan side, is making those cleavages worse. And moreover, the continued presence of foreign forces, up to 20,000 mercenaries, Turks, Syrians, Russians, which combined with the ongoing dispute between Haftar and Debeba, which was evidenced by Debeba's failure to visit Benghazi, is causing a lot of instability. So I think the foreign forces, foreign competition for reconstruction, as well as deep political cleavages that have developed since 2014, this is a really difficult and intractable problem.